This is a demo of the Logviewer program. To start Logviewer, cd to the directory containing logviewer.jar and run the jar file as you normally would. You have to do this from within that directory, otherwise the program won't work. Or you can double click logviewer.jar to open it. This is the main window of Logviewer. Logviewer is a program designed to allow users to open log files, view the data inside, visualize the data in like a graphical way if appropriate, modify the data. The user can also generate graphs of the data and add to the data via data collected over the network, so they can expand the data, and this program is like a logging application also. Finally, the user can do a bunch of other things through scripts. A log file is an XML file that contains data. Here's an example of a log file. The data is recorded as sequential records, and each of those records is called an event. So this particular one has 5 events. Events generally look pretty uniform, kind of identical. This is appropriate because logging applications always work by adding a single line of data or appending something to a already open file. So this is appropriate for how log files are generated. To open a log file, and each event inside of it can contain many different things. For example, this one has all this stuff inside it, and they can hold a lot of information. To open the log file, we need to specify its structure first. We need to give some tips about what the file looks like to Logviewer, because the file structure and the different names used in it can vary. So the first thing you do is you specify the name of the root element of the XML. In this case, that's event set. Next, you specify the mid path. This file doesn't have a mid path because all the events are located directly inside the root element. However, this file would have a mid path because inside the root element is an element called mid, inside the mid element is an element called high, and then finally inside all that element, all the events are clustered together. As long as the events are clustered together, you can use the file. There sometimes may be intermediate things like this, and if there is, this file's mid path would be mid/high, mid/high. But this file that we're using doesn't have a mid path, so you can ignore it and leave it blank. Finally, you specify the name of the event tag or event element, and they should all be the same. Click set, and now all the controls are enabled, and you can work with the log file. To open the log file, click open, click the file, and if it opens successfully, the number of rows in the table will appear, and this is equal to the number of events. Each row represents an event. Now Logviewer can open several files, but it treats all the open files by appending them to the currently open ones, so they're actually all treated as one large group file. Let me show you. For example, if I open the same file again, I'll have 5 more events. This particular file has 20 events stored in it. If I open it, it will have 29 or 30 events. And this is all 3 open files are treated as one big log file. This is useful if you have a really large log file and you decide to split it up into a lot of small log files for easier handling, but then you still want to use them as one big log file. So the appending can be useful. Now if you want to work with 2 sets of log files at the same time, you need to open up another Logviewer program instance and then work with that file there. Now log files sometimes can get really large because the logging applications often just dump data into the log file. For example, we're going to try to open a really large one. That's 112 megabytes. And if we open this, this error window pops up, claiming that Java is out of memory and there's not enough heap space. Now, this error window pops up when there are errors, usually on the program side. It could be a bug, it could be something else. It's usually not caused directly by the user. When this window does pop up, it would be helpful to me, the developer, if you reported what you saw. If you believe it's a bug, you reported what you saw onto the issues page of the Logviewer website. Try to copy the stack trace so I can figure out what's going wrong. When this window does pop up, usually it means the program has suffered a catastrophic error and you need to restart the program to continue using it. Don't continue using it as it is currently open. Now, to fix this problem, we can start to fix this problem and be able to open the really large log files. We can start Java with more heap space, and using this flag. And if we use this particular flag, we've told Java to start with 1000 megabytes of heap space, more than enough to open our 112 megabyte file. So this time I set the structure, and once I set the structure, I can open a file, and I'm going to open the same 112 megabyte file. It's opening, and then as you can see, there are 692,878 events in it. Now, to stop working with the current file and to work with another file or another set of files, you hit clear, and that will reset the program. And once you hit set and specify the structure, you can open a new file. Another cool feature is that Logviewer can open up folders of XMLs. For example, I have this folder called sample logs, and inside there's 11 log files. So if I just click sample logs, it'll open them and append them all to each other. So in total of all those 11 logs, there are 2,987 events. And I can clear it again. The last thing is what to do when the XML is corrupt. For example, if we removed the closing tag of the root element and then we try to open the file, you can see this little error message pops up. The little error message is different from the big error message. The little one means that the user did something wrong, or one of the files was wrong, but it is a recoverable error, so the user can continue using the program and just ignore the error, basically. So once you fix the problem, so I put the closing tag back in, I can open the file as normal.